Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to our 5th science review lesson of the summer term. Today we are going to be learning or reviewing all about magnets and forces. So as usual, this video should be watched after you have started the slideshow, which you can find on the website. So if you haven't done any of the slideshow yet, go back and do that, or this won't make any sense to you. Okay, so I'm going to assume now that you've gone and watched that and you've learned all about the different kinds of forces, things that push and things that pull, and you now know that magnets are a non-contact force, which means they do not need to be touching to be able to exert a force on each other. So I've gone around my house and I actually could only find a couple of magnets, but I've got these ones that I found in the drawer. I'm not sure what they're from, but it looks like they were, I'm not sure, maybe for like putting up notes on the wall or on the fridge. And I've got this cute one here, which is a souvenir that one of my housemates got from Wales by the looks of it. Oh no, from Spain. Okay, so your task now is to make a magical, magnetic maze. Okay, so you're going to end up with something that looks a little bit like this. Probably yours is going to be better because I rushed mine. And the task of this is to start where it says start. I think it says it backwards on yours because my phone's making it into a mirror. And your task is to move your little bug, move your bug around the maze from the start to the finish. There's the little checkered flag at the finish. And I've got a little ladybird there who is magically moving around the maze. But luckily you've watched my presentation and you've learned all about magnets this year, so you know that it's not magic. I've got a magnet on the other side and the magnet is pushing its force through the paper, through the card, and onto the little paper clip that is attached to my little ladybird, and it's making it move around. So I think that's pretty cool. There are literally hundreds of cool things you can do with magnets. This is just one game that I've got here. So what you're going to need for this is either you can do it with like a paper plate if you want. I've got some paper plates. I was going to do it on this, but I want to decorate it and it's quite shiny, and so if it's shiny the pen won't stick to it. So I decided instead to use some card and to draw around my card with a plate, so I get a flat circle. But if you want to, if you don't want to do that, you can. There's no reason why it can't be a rectangle shaped maze, or square shape, or anything. You be creative. This is your project, so you can do whatever you want with this. So the first thing you're going to need to do, let me see if I can change the angle of this so that I can show you what I'm doing. It's a bit dodgy. There we go. Okay, so if you were going to make yours, oh, it's a bit wonky. If you were going to make yours into a circle, then this is what I did. I got a plate, and I put the plate over my paper, my card. Card's much better than paper because it's thicker. If you don't have any card, then have a little look in the post, in the mail, because when you get things delivered from Amazon and stuff, often they come in cards. So I'm going to draw really carefully around this plate. Can you see that I'm putting the end of my pen right on that plate, and I'm not moving it away from there. I'm being very careful there because it has to be. Well, actually, if you don't want it to be perfectly straight, perfectly circle, then it doesn't have to be. But if you want a perfect circle, then you need to keep very, very close to the plate. So there's my perfect circle. The next thing I'm going to do is cut my circle out. Hot tip, when you're cutting, let me see if I can get into a better angle to show you. Keep your scissors the same way up. So this is comfortable for me to hold my scissors like this. So I'm going to keep my scissors there. And when I get to the bit where it curves, I'm going to move the card. I'm going to move the card and not the scissors. So it might take a bit of practice, but this is a really good skill. So really carefully along the line. And see how my hand and my scissors, same position. Yeah, I haven't been moving because if you move your scissors around, you end up in a really weird position and then you cannot be accurate. So I'm cutting by moving the card, keeping my scissors in the same place, and that way I can have a lot more control over it. And hey, if it goes wrong a couple of times, that's fine. That's how we learn, isn't it? So if you make a mistake, don't give up. Maybe you want to have a little practice on some scrap bits of paper or card. Alright, look at that. I'm rushing it a bit, so mine's not perfect, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there's my more or less perfect circle. So the next thing you need to do is decorate it. So this is completely up to you. I just drew a line around there. You need to have a start and a finish, so I'm just going to write finish in the middle, because often when you go to mazes, can you see that? Often when you go to a maze, you start at the edge and you're trying to get into the middle somehow. And there's usually some hedges in the way and you have to follow the paths, and there's usually some dead ends, so you can be creative with this. Mine was quite simple. It looks a bit complicated, but it's just one line. There's a bit where it doubles back, but if you wanted to be really creative and make a tricky one, you could add some extra twists and turns in there. And I'm going to start here. I'm going to write start. And I'm going to put a little square on that one. I'm just rushing this, I'm not really thinking about it. I'd like you to take a bit of care over yours. Okay, I'm going to draw a line now. This is going to be where my little bug has to travel along. So maybe I'll try and make it a bit more interesting than the last one. So let's say we start here. I'm going to say we go right in there, and you think, oh yeah, we're going to get to the finish. This is so easy. But wait, no, there's an obstacle in the way. Something's in the way. You have to turn back. You have to retreat. You have to go this way. And maybe what often you get in mazes is little branches that come off, so it tricks you. So maybe you can put a little false start in here, so the person that's doing it thinks it must be this one because it's getting close to the finish line, but oh, that one just ends, and this was the one you were supposed to take. Have a look. If you're unsure what a maze is, type into Google maze, M-A-Z-E. And there'll be lots and lots of mazes probably for you to try. I'm going to put another false start in there. See if I can trick anybody. And I'll put another line up here. Maybe we're at the finish. No, we're not. There's still some way to go. Maybe even that's a false start as well. Yeah, so you're leading people the wrong way. You're trying to trick them, trying to prank them. Okay. So you get the idea. You would finish that and completely fill it up, but I'm just going to finish that so I can show you. Okay, so we've got a bit of a maze going on there. Now you need your little bug. You should have, if you've done the way that I've done it and cut out with a bit of paper, you should have a little scraps that you can use for this. I've done a ladybird here, which I did just by drawing, where's my camera? Just by drawing a circle and then did some dots in there and coloured it in red and then did another line there. I think you can see how I've done that. Maybe just to be a bit different, I might do a spider this time, a little spider. Okay, so we know that spiders have got 8 legs, don't they? And they have 2 bits of their body, so they have this big bit here, and that's where all the silk is made that they use to spin their webs. And then at the front they've got their little body, and then coming off the front there, they sometimes have a couple of eyes, don't they? They have 8 eyes, in fact. And then we know they have 8 legs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This is my 8-leg spider. I'm going to make it a big one, so I'm going to give it some little bends on its legs. Big old scary spider. But they're not really scary. We like spiders because they eat flies and they're part of our ecosystem, aren't they? Alright, so there's my spider. The spider. Okay, now I'm going to cut it out. So, another tip, when you're cutting out things that have got lots of little funny bits in it, cut around all of the outside bits first, yeah? So I'm going to cut, I'm going to cut there, and then I'm going to cut, can you see what I'm doing? Cut there, nice straight lines, and I'm going to cut there, and then I'm going to cut here. All right. Okay, so once you've cut out the main bits, like this, then you can start to go in and get rid of some of those other bits of white in there. So I'm going to cut that bit of white out there. And remember, I'm moving the card I'm not moving my scissors, and that gives me much more control. My scissors always stay at this angle because that's my perfect angle. My arm is shaped like that. I don't want to bend my arm out of shape because it will affect how neatly I can do my cutting out. Okay, it doesn't matter if there's a bit of white left. Or if you think it doesn't matter, then you can spend a bit more time getting rid of the extra bits of white. Okay. My little spider. You could even, if you were going to do a spider, you could theme your maze so that it was like a little web, couldn't you? Oh, I wish I'd thought of that before I'd started. Maybe if one of you does that, you can send a picture into our Year 3 email address and you can show us what you've done, because that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Maybe the poor little spider has got lost out in the rain. He's been washed out of his little web, down the water pipe, down the drain pipe. He's trying to find his way back to his home, or her home. And so you have to find his way through his little web. That would be an idea. Okay, so I've done that. I've left some little white bits. I don't mind about that. I think that's cute. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. There's my maze, but it doesn't stick. Oh dear. Even if I put my magnet behind it, it doesn't stick at all. I wonder if anyone at home can think about why my paper spider is not sticking to my magnet. What do we know about magnetism, and what do we know about what materials are magnetic? Ah, absolutely, that's right. So I need a bit of metal on here, because metal is magnetic. Not all metal. We know that steel is magnetic. So I'm going to use a paper clip, and paper clips are usually made out of steel. And steel has iron in it, and so that should be magnetic. Oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. On the other side? No, yes, on that side. Okay, so I'm going to clip my paper clip onto my spider. Like this. Okay, there's my paper clip on my spider. And now, my little spider has become magnetic. The invisible non-contact force of magnetism is acting on the paper clip, which is attached to my spider. So I'm going to see now if I can have a go at doing my maze. So I need to put my spider at the front on start, and I'm going to go behind with my magnet, and I'm going to find the point where it attaches itself. And there it is. There's my little spider. It's creeping down the maze backwards. And then it's going this way, and then it's going this way. And it's going to try and get to the... Oh, it's a dead end. Back you go, Mr. Spider. Back you go. Oh, there you go. He's going along. Obviously, your mazes are going to be looking a lot better than this. I'd like you to colour them in, make them look really pretty, and maybe think about doing a spiderweb one. Maybe think about doing different kind of insects, different animals. I just did a bug one because why not? Okay, so I want you to do that, and I want you to think about what's happening, the science. How is your little bug, or your animal, or whatever it is you're doing? You could do a little football, couldn't you? You could have a football match where you're trying to score a goal. You could even have one which was on a rectangle, and you could have it as a football pitch, and you could have two people playing. You could have two football players maybe, or a football. Yep, you can see. Be creative with this. Use your own ideas. Okay, what I would like though, because not many of you are actually sending them in. Let me put my stern voice and face on. Not that many of you are sending in your work, which makes me a bit sad because I put all this effort in, and I really want to see how you're doing, because I know that some of you are doing it, but you're not sharing it with me. So how do I know? Because we're not in school, and if we're not in school, then I can't check your work. So it's really up to you. You really have to be emailing in. Yep, you just have to take a picture of what you've done, and then send it to the Year 3 email address, and then we will have a look and check how you're doing. Okay, that's my grumble over. Good luck with that. Please let me know how you're going, and make sure you've done the slideshow and the other activity on there, which is predicting and testing whether different materials are magnetic. Okay, Year 3, good luck. Bye.